Hello, my name is Richard Harmon from Red Hat, and this is the Red Hat Coffee Break. I lead our financial services business, and today I have an exciting topic, which is around data sovereignty. And we have two colleagues or partners. Andrea is on the FSI team as one of our lead technologists, and Sonal is with eXate, and I'll let her introduce herself. But this is a topic, I think, with the work that's been jointly done between Red Hat and eXate, I think you will find it very, very relevant to all of your customers globally.
So hi, I'm Sonal. I'm one of the co-founders and the CTO for eXate. So my background's been predominantly software engineering and leading teams of software engineers, but I ended up setting up eXate after spending many years in banking to solve some of the key challenges around data sovereignty, data localization, and data residency problems that I had in my corporate career. So a lot of the work that we've been doing at eXate has been driven around sitting at the intersection of data privacy, so rights of an individual, contractual clauses, those types of things, what we have around data privacy. We looked at aggregating lots of data privacy technique, data protection techniques into one platform. So we've got many different techniques to be able to use that in a distributed way. We've got a huge offering around that cross-border data transfers, being able to actually keep with some of the requirements around data sovereignty and data localization. So being able to hold encryption keys within jurisdiction, those types of things. And then finally, best-in-class fine-grained access control. So before being able to decrypt anything, we are able to actually do a rule evaluation from a policy-based access control, attribute-based access control, and we're extending it for relationship-based access control. So we're taking some real inspiration from the likes of Google, what they've done with YouTube, what they've done with the Google Workspace, and we've incorporated all of those things together. But we did have a few snags along the way when we're looking at data sovereignty. So although we've got an amazing system that can do encryption, etc., across the globe, we also needed to have a solution around being able to process data. So I will hand over to Andrea to do his introduction, and then we can talk a little bit about some of the things that we've been doing in that space.
Yeah, I'm Andrea Ferraresi, and I'm principal solution architect at Red Hat. I work in the FSI global team, and I'm working together with eXate since a few years now. And in this specific project, we're combining our one of our main technologies, that is OpenShift container platform, with eXate. And as Sonal was explaining, eXate is doing all the encryption, while OpenShift container platform will be the foundation where the data lies on. And what we do is basically the plumbing between very distributed and global infrastructures across the globe, so over the internet, and obviously maintaining the high level of encryption and zero trust that you would expect in the FSI space. Sonal, do you want to talk about the idea we had together and explain what's the juice of it?
Yeah, happy to. I was super excited about it as well. I'm just amazed that we're actually able to get it to work and be able to really bring it to life. So as I mentioned before, we're able to do this distributed encryption side of it, but that only solves half of the problem. So we've got many countries that are requesting for data to be processed. So there's a difference between what data means when data is at rest versus what it is when you're actually processing it. A lot of our customers are also talking about how we actually process data on certain infrastructure as well. So certain things might need to be done on premise. And it just was a marriage made in heaven almost, where OpenShift already works with the hybrid cluster. So we're able to actually work across multiple infrastructure. And I think the conversations that we had when we were looking at it was, well, if you've got this ability to be able to run on multiple infrastructure, can we actually move compute and actually isolate where we actually want to run something? because this is something that kept coming up over and over again. So many different things around like Schrems 2, etc., from the US, and what the Europe was doing around that space from a privacy shield perspective. So how do we actually make sure that when we're running something for European customers, that it's running on European data centers? So while we were looking at that, we're thinking, ideally, all the organizations we're working with, they want to achieve what we call it a global operating model. So they want to deploy software once, they want to have a single database, but it to run wherever they need it to be. What they've actually ended up having to do is actually deploy infrastructure and services in individual countries, which then means you need a team to support it. You've got all of these additional costs. And that's where we talk about banking having such high infrastructure costs. This is one of those things for that we're duplicating applications. So to get to a global operating model, the conversation that we were having was, what if we could, so we already can control through fine-grained access, we can intercept data calls and understand what's actually happening with them. Can we then say, actually run those services in a certain jurisdiction? So we can have the same service, the same functionality deployed once, but running either in Europe or in the US or in, pick your favorite country, Singapore, wherever you've got these requirements that are coming up. But again, looking at the geopolitical landscape, more and more countries are going to actually be doing this. So I think this is where technically we've done all the hard work to actually get the compute to move and actually do the processing. But I thought it'd be probably worth understanding it from, what problem are we actually trying to solve here?
Yeah, it's, I mean, I guess like the leitmotif here is as you mentioned before, we want to move the compute. We want to bring the compute where we need it, rather than bringing the entire infrastructure to the other side, because that's obviously has a lot of added costs. And obviously, with all the added capability of OpenShift being hybrid and multi-cloud ready, and being able to do the plumbing, so to say, between multiple geographically distant cluster, this is a kind of a perfect match in terms of technology to achieve data sovereignty.
Yeah, I think it's been coined between us that we're actually making infrastructure data aware. This is that actually, instead of having so much complication around it, if we can use intelligence under the hood to be able to work out where something needs to run, can we strip those costs out? And that's really been the R&D work that we've done. And again, super excited that we've actually achieved it.
And actually, we will present this at Summit now, which is it the 20th of May? Or yeah. I'll I'll put on the I'll socialize the exact date.
Yeah, and I was going to say, this is really, really an important accomplishment for any regulated industry, not just financial services, but in particular for financial services. And if our colleagues have a chance to attend the session where Sonal and Andrea are going to present this and provide a bit of a demo, it's actually going to be in healthcare, so you can see it crosses many industries. It is something that can really have a dramatic benefit to our customers that have these challenges, and it's using newer technology. I don't want to get into the products, but there's some unique capabilities that's in OpenShift that doesn't exist anywhere else. So we now have the ability of providing a level of data security, data governance, and data processing controls, as you guys have described, globally for our multinational customers. And just on the enterprise side, 87% of our enterprise FSI customers are global. So it affects most of our FSI customers, particularly large ones, but also, medium and small size companies are in many countries. So please attend their session at Summit. Do listen to it, and you'll hear more about this after Summit as well. And thank you very much, Sonal and Andrea, for this nice short coffee break.
Thank you, Richard.
Thanks, Richard.